Wretch. Noun. A miserable person. One who is profoundly unhappy or in great misfortune. A person who is base, despicable, and vile. One who is depressed, hopeless, seriously inadequate, and of very low quality. Hi there, I'm David Templeton, journalist and playwright, and that used to be me. A wretch. An outcast, an oddball, a black sheep. I was 8. I was geeky, skinny, socially awkward, and I played with puppets. Yeah, puppets. Nobody told me that if you're already not popular at school, walking around with puppets in your pockets does not help. But then, at the age of 11, I found Jesus. Yep, I got saved in a trailer in the 5th grade, and for a while there, it was kind of cool. Just me and Jesus and my puppets, singing Amazing Grace forwards and backwards, learning everything I could about crucifixion, waiting for my life to get better. But after a few years, I was still just lonely. And then, in high school, something big happened. I joined the Jesus Club. And what do you know? I suddenly had friends, believers, Jesus people, all of us teenagers. I became a teenage evangelical puppeteer. This was in the 1970s, at the beginning of the Southern California Jesus movement, back when Christians were still liberals. I was part of one of the greatest social movements of all time. It was great, or mostly great. And then it all started going to hell. Right under my nose, the Jesus movement became the religious right. I started asking a lot of questions, started noticing stuff that didn't add up. And the more I tried to be like Jesus, loving my fellow human beings, the less I fit in. Suddenly, I was a black sheep all over again. So I left. I walked away. And as I re-entered the real world, I knew that someday I'd have to find a way to tell the story of all the crazy, outrageous, and sometimes kind of beautiful things I saw and did between the time I was saved and the time I was saved from being saved. In 1983, after seeing Josh Kornbluth do his one-man show Haiku Tunnel, I decided, yeah, that's the way to tell this story, as a one-man show. And I knew exactly what I wanted to call it, Wretch Like Me. Okay, it took me 25 years to finally sit down and write it, but in 2009, I did, recreating my journey from black sheep to evangelical teenager and back to black sheep. The first performances of Wretch Like Me took place at the Glazer Center in Santa Rosa. Since then, I've performed the show for thousands of people, but from the very beginning, I've had an even bigger dream for Wretch Like Me. It's been a long journey for that little kid and his puppets, a journey that still has meaning, because that story isn't just mine. The best part of doing Wretch Like Me is meeting the people afterwards who had the same experiences, who struggled to believe in themselves, who took a detour or two along the way to learning what I eventually learned, that everyone deserves to know they're loved by someone, and no one should ever be made to feel like a wretch.